We have gotten a lot of requests to do more videos about restringing and also fixing when you have these accidents, because these strings do break, and they tend to break in this location here because this is where we play the most, so they tend to get frazzled. So that's unfortunately something that can happen, and it's something that's relatively easy to fix. First step is I'm going to loosen the ties that hold all the extra strings looped at the bottom. They're just coiled up, so I'm just going to uncoil them and identify this one. And first of all, I'm going to just undo the tying at the bottom here so that I will completely get that untied. And then just so that I can have these be a little bit more organized, I'm going to put the strings I'm not working on a little bit out of my way. So I'm going to loosen that up and bring more of this string up this way so that I have excess. Okay. And on this side, I'm just going to remove the cut end. It's actually tied to a bolster on the inside of the Koto. I'm going to flip it over gently just to show you. There is a sound hole here. You may or may not be able to see all the way inside, but I just pulled that bolster through with a cut in on this side. The other ones, this bolster is holding it up against the inner aspect of the strings. On the inside, this is called ayasugi bori, or komochi ayasugi bori. And it is what you see on the nicer Kotos nowadays. I'm going to reuse this bolster, so I am going to remove the tie off of here. I like to use nail clippers because they're the easiest way to cut. And then I'm going to thread this through the hole, or the yuga. So I'm just going to thread it in from top. And then reach inside to get the end of it and pull it through. And having plenty of extra. I'm just tying it to the bolster. It already had kind of an indentation from when it was tied there before, which kind of makes it easier. When they're absolutely fresh, they're a little bit harder to tighten. So it was just tightened. And so now that it's tightened, it's not going to loose, I'm going to pull it up through here and make sure that bolster is up against the inside aspect of the Koto. Now I'm going to bring this cloth all the way down here. I'm going to use this cloth to help protect the soft wood on the Koto from my machine. And this is called the Itoshimeki. And there's usually two parts of it because one clamps on this side of the string and one clamps on this side of the string, and this ratchet system kind of increases the tension by dragging upon it. I'll show you once I get started here, but I am also going to use a little bit of, this is just rosin. It helps it be less sticky and allows this machine to kind of clamp onto my string a little bit more tightly. Otherwise, it's so easy for this to kind of slip. Okay. And then there's actually a pattern of how these kind of come along. This string has to come up in between these two strings. So I got to make sure I put it in the right place. Clamp it around here, so I need some. And then I want it to grip here, so I'm going to rosin this area where it's going to grip around and hold that knot in place a lot better for me. Just going to loosen this. It has a bottom plate and a top plate, and you put the string in between and then tighten it to hold it in place. There it goes. There you go. There it is. much better. Okay. I think I'm close. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes before I get it tied. But I think I'm close. I'm going to tie it once, and then I'll put the G in and check the tension. And what is this? Okay. Yeah, so I am just winding this string around the tightened string, the excess part, about three times. This is also a little bit dependent on the Koto strings. I think sometimes they only do it twice on a silk string, but typically at least 3 times on a these nylon strings. And then once you wrapped it around, I go between the top and tighten together, trying to make it about the middle part of this bridge here. And then one more time underneath, lifting it under the knot, and that locks it in place.
Oh, that's just a release that you do, right?
Yep, I just release the tension. And then I'm not going to completely take it off because I might have to retighten it. So a while back when I first got my new Koto that was professionally tightened, and I measured each string. So for hirajoshi, it could have been anything, but for hirajoshi. And so with that, I figured out distance. So for kin, it's 8 inches, 9 inches, 12 inches. So this should be about 12 inches. Dead on.
Way to go.
So kin is 8 inches.
Approximately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about 8. That's about 9, maybe 9.5. It's loosened it up a bit since I've done this, and that's about 12. So I think that's about right.
Yeah.
And so the last step is to gather all the strings together. And then we retie, and then that's it. Not a big deal at all. You're ready to go. You're in business.
Awesome.